Alright, let's go ahead and check this out. I am running out of scratch paper, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some more. For this one here, again, we certainly didn't need to tell you that it went through 0, 0, because if you factor out a 0, if you do your first step of factoring like you're supposed to and factor out an x, you would have been left with x squared minus 25. So you would have factored form would be x, and then you factor this as x plus 5 and x minus 5. So my roots are 0, 0, negative 5, 0, and 5, 0. So I have a root at there, at positive 5 and negative 5. It starts with a positive. The degree of this is 3 because of the highest degree. Here I could have looked at it as factored out, x and x and x, also 3 for my roots. It is positive, so it starts up. There's no repeated roots of any sort, so it just kind of goes all the way through, and I like these problems. These are fun. Alright, let's do 8 just for the sheer joy of it. And for this one here, it is 4 terms, so I just want to see, is there some common factors here? 1 and 4, definitely not going to be 1 and 4, so no. But I do know it goes through 3, so one of my factors is going to be x minus 3. And one of my roots is 3, 0. So I need to do my little division. X minus 3. I like these. These are kind of fun. So I have x cubed up there. X squared will make that happen when I multiply them. Negative 3x squared here. I need one more x squared to make my negative 4. Now, this is a positive 3, but I needed it to be a negative 3. So I need to have, what, positive, negative 6x? I'm going to just double check that to make sure. So I needed it to be a negative, so I made a negative here, and negative times negative is positive. So yep, and so I need that to happen. So then negative 6 and negative 6 and 4. Oh, good. So remember, when you're doing your division, if you know for sure that it's a root, it should go in evenly with no remainders. If it has a remainder, then you did something wrong, or we told you something wrong, but let's go with the you did something wrong part. So now this one here, I do want to factor it as negative 6 and negative 1. So that would be what, negative 3 and 2 would make that happen. So x minus 3 and x plus 2. Now, this is important when we do our graphing. Technically, this is x minus 3 squared. I have 2 of them, a repeated root, we'd like to say. So this is one of my roots that just happens twice, but then this is a negative 2 as my other root. So I have a negative 2 root and a positive 3 root, but this here is a bounce. This degree is 3, so I can tell by my largest coefficient, largest exponent here, or here 1, 2, 3, or here 1, 2, and then 3. Any one of those work. It is a positive, so it does start up. I do need to bounce, and then simply go through there. All right. This is a value-packed video here. We're going to go ahead and do one more. So we'll go ahead and do 10 as well. 10, again, I look to see if I can factor by grouping. I see 1 and 3, but 3 and 1. So those are not in the right order. Factor by grouping isn't going to happen for us, but that's okay. If this is a root, then my factor is x plus 1, and that is what we need to divide. And we very carefully copy. And we always start off with our first term up there. So we put that in. We've got, what, x squared. If I have x squared but I need it to be 3, I'm going to need a 2x squared to make that happen. And then I have my 2x, but I need it to be 3, so I need one more x to make that happen. And no remainder, shouldn't be. We've got this here. I factor this one, 1 and 2 gives me 1 and 1. So we also have x plus 1 and another x plus 1. So what we really have here is x plus 1 cubed. Now stop for a moment. If I cube this, I want you to notice I don't get x cubed plus 1. I get all of this mess here. So I'm glad you're here to see that, making sure we're remembering that I really do have a much larger problem when I do my multiplication. So I really just have one root over and over and over again, in fact 3 times, and so that means a slowdown. So it is positive. This is a degree of 3. Again, whether I look at it this way or up here, either one works, and a slowdown just means I've got kind of this little serpenty thing going on like that.